Hi, I'm Emily Holtzclaw. I go by Emily Larkin on the air, and this is my introduction video for Q97.9. I just wanted to tell you a few things about myself. I live in Portland, Maine. I'm originally from Missouri, and I have been working there remotely since living here, working there remotely since COVID started. My company changed policy on remote work, so I'm looking for something here in Portland. And man, I love the energy of Q97.9. I currently am on a morning show on an AC station, 101.5 KPLA. I'm also the program director and midday host for a AAA station, 102.3 BXR. You can see the rest in my resume and cover letter and all that. But you said you wanted a funny story, a personal story. So I'm going to tell you about a disastrous date that I luckily did not have to go on. And it ended up helping me win the man of my dreams, I guess. Back in the day, I was on all the online dating apps you could get on, Tinder, Bumble, all those things. And I matched with one guy on Tinder. We talked for a couple weeks, and then he kind of ghosted. Like, the conversation just went out, and he never asked me out. And I was like, well, whatever. So I keep going along. A couple weeks later, I have maybe the greatest week of game in my life, and I had scheduled 2 dates in like 2 dates, 2 nights in a week, and that never happened to me. But then I was swiping through Bumble, and the guy I had been talking to on Tinder was on there, and we matched. And since in Bumble, the woman goes first and writes the question or asks the question first, I said, "Listen, we already talked for 2 weeks on Tinder. Do you just want to meet up?" And he said, "Sure." And the night he had free was the night before these other 2 dates I had in a row. So 3 dates in a row with 3 different people, and I'm just not that. That's not me. So I was nervous enough going into the date, but kind of proud of myself, kind of feeling myself. And the thing was, the guy who was the second night, he actually had more of a spark with him. We talked a lot. We talked for, I think, like 5 or 6 days solid, and then he asked me out, and I'm like, sure, because of the station I was introing The Head and the Heart at a concert live, and I was like, this is kind of an impressive first date for me to take somebody on. And so I did. I asked him if he wanted to go to this show, and he said, great. Well, the night of the first date, he messaged me and he goes, hey, before we go out, there's probably something I should tell you. Turns out he's married, and just decided not to tell me that beforehand. He said his wife fell and got a head injury on their honeymoon, and so she now acts like a teenager. He wasn't really into that, so he's been dating other people and trying to find other people to be with, but he was going to stay married to her so she could stay on his health insurance, which I think he thought sounded really noble and kind and great. And I was like, well, married is pretty much a deal breaker for me, but what does she think about it? Have you guys discussed an open marriage? And he told me, oh no, she actually hates it. And the last girl I went out with, she keyed her car. So I said, you know what? I don't think this date is going to be good for me. This is it. I'm good. And so, sorry about that. That happened 15 minutes before my date with Sean, who's now my husband. That date went really, really well. And I was able to say to him, I've got a +1 for this show that I'm actually like hosting. I get to intro the band beforehand. Do you want to come with me? It's tomorrow night. And he said yes. And got on stage, did my big announcement. When I got off stage, he kissed me for the first time, and that was really sweet, and it was a good kiss, and I liked it, but I was wearing bright, smeary red lipstick, and it got all over my face and his, and I saw it was on his, and I was like trying to wipe it off. When walks up a bunch of people I knew, 2 of my best friends, my brother and my sister and their significant others. They were all at the show, and they see me with this red lipstick smeared across my face. My sister claims she knew then that I would marry him. But yeah, we ended up dating 5 days in a row, going on 5 dates in a row before being like, is this a thing? And we decided it was a thing. And those, on the third day for both of us, we each had a date scheduled with someone else, and we each ghosted them. That's okay. They ghosted us too. It was a mutual ghosting, so no hurt feelings, I think. And so that's how I started dating my husband. And yeah, I don't mind telling embarrassing stories like this on the air. I actually kind of love it. I'm inherently competitive about things that are inherently not competitive. So I'm always going to want to tell the weirdest story. I'm always going to want to know the biggest trivia facts. I will do the research to find these things out if I need to. I think I'd be a great addition to a morning show. I love the energy that your morning show has, and I think I could be a good part of it. If you need to know anything about me, please hit me up. You've got my resume, you've got my email. And just to answer another question, yes, I'm sitting in my bathroom in front of my shower curtain because it's the best light in my apartment. Thank you. Have a nice day.